This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, it's getting recorded.
Okay, thank you.
All right, fine. So let's start with section one. All right.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Okay. And before that, I hope you still remember the parameters that actually are used to evaluate speaking part.
Yes.
Okay, good. Uh, okay. So let me. I will share the screen only when part two is happening.
Yes, sure.
Okay, great. So let me ask the recent topics. Okay, yeah. All right. So I will ask you four questions in part one. Okay,
Yes.
and by the way you answer, so then based on that we will discuss about like how it could be improved and
Yes.
what else can be used in place of that.
Yes, sure.
Okay, great. Right. Okay. What's your name?
My name is Kedar Ashok Buduk.
All right. So, are you studying or working?
Well, currently I'm working as a solution architect in Ericsson Global. I'm working in Pune city.
All right. Okay. So, in this part of the test, I'm going to ask you a few questions and you will try to answer in sentences.
Sure.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So, let's begin. All right. Do you enjoy reading?
Well, reading is one of my hobby that I have developed over the period of time. I certainly do enjoy reading. I specifically like to read the novels written, the fiction as well as the novels is what I read.
All right. Okay. What sort of things do you read?
I specifically like to read the literature. I also enjoy reading the novels. I'm specifically fond of the novels written by Jeffrey Archer and Sidney Sheldon.
All right. Tell me something about your favorite book.
Uh, I have read about the book called as a Bloodline. The author for this book is Sidney Sheldon. I remember I borrowed this book from the city library when I had completed my 12th standard exam. This Bloodline is the book which is written, which has a female character as the central character. Um, for some reason, um she basically lose her parents, and then she becomes the single owner of the company founded by his father. This will be a pharmaceutical companies and other stakeholders who are basically the enemies of each other. They come together and they make the life of Jennifer difficult. And then this book basically records all the sufferings that Jennifer goes through and how she comes out of her trouble, and then she basically take the command of the company founded by her father.
All right. What are the advantages of reading instead of watching television or going to the cinema?
Okay, so I think when you are reading, you are alone, and then basically you only interpret what you read. There is nothing visuals that you will have to your brain will have to process. So I think when you are reading, uh, it is only a single input to your brain, and brain can process those signals properly. Whereas when you are watching a movie or a video, uh, your brain will have to not only interpret the voice, as well as brain will have to process the visual effects as well. So it is a lot of work for brain. So if you are reading, you can enjoy reading. Brain will be comparatively will have less work as compared to watching the movies.
All right. Okay. So those four questions, that was about reading.
Okay.
Okay. Now here, if we look at a larger context here, the
Hmm.
answers that you have given, in fact, are lengthy, of course. The length is good.
Okay.
Okay. The quantity is absolutely fine, no problem at all.
Okay.
But the thing is, when you, I mean, make sentences, like
Hmm.
each word is isolated. I mean, if you say a sentence, each word is, pronounced like individually, like that. So that you can improve by mixing up the words. Like, for example, if you have the prepositions, okay, conjunctions, articles like a and the, okay,
Hmm.
helping verbs like am, are, is, have, has, okay.
Okay.
So all these words, which are something like which is auxiliary to the main words like nouns and verbs and adjectives and adverbs, like that.
Okay.
So with
So
these words, the helping verbs should be mixed up so that the fluency can improve here.
do you mean I speak very slowly, and then I take a lot of pauses in between the words within a single sentence?
Absolutely. Between two words, the length is a little more,
Hmm.
like that. So that has to cut short, like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I have tried to improve on this.
Ha.
Probably yes. Let me practice more.
Yes, yes. So along with practice, I mean, you need to have an approach here. Like one approach is that, as I said, uh, mixing of these words, the non-important words or auxiliary words with
Hmm.
the main words in it,
Okay.
like
Sure.
that. Okay. And the second thing which can really help you is the short forms,
Okay.
or in English we call them as contractions,
Right.
like that. Okay.
Contraction. For example.
For example, can't, don't, didn't, haven't.
Okay.
Okay. I,
But
I
using short forms, is it not informal way of speaking? Because this is a test, so we
huh.
shouldn't be using the short forms. Is that not the case?
That is applicable in writing.
Okay.
That is applicable in writing because essay is a formal way of writing.
Okay.
And if you get a letter that is informal letter, there of course you can use the contractions. And if you use formal letters, there you should not use the contractions.
Okay.
Okay,
Sure.
so
Yes.
that's the point. So speaking is all the way a colloquial language, and
Right.
all the questions that they ask you here are totally informal. I mean, all these questions are not the formal ones, isn't it?
Right.
They
Yes.
they are about basically about you,
Yes.
like that.
That's right.
So okay, like that. So contractions are definitely going to help you, like that.
Right.
Okay,
And
and
also, did you feel that I am repeating the same sentence again more than once? Also, the same word is being repeated more than once.
yes, I mean, to avoid it, you can take help of pronouns.
Uh, pronoun.
Pronouns, yes. For example, if you are talking about something like a book, okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
let's say. once you use the word book in the beginning,
Right.
okay, so that should be enough. And after that, whenever you take a reference of that, you have to use a pronoun like it
Hmm.
or that, okay,
Okay.
or
Right.
this, like
Right.
that.
Got it.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
these things will help you avoid the repetition. Got
Right.
it?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
one thing. Okay. Uh, Fine. So that is another thing. And anyway, this is getting recorded, so I will again listen to your responses that you have given here,
Yes.
and
Sure.
I will try to give you the another version of that which you could follow like that.
Yes. Sure. Yes.
Fine. And for the second question, for the third question, sorry. For the third question, the answer was little lengthy. I mean, they won't allow you to speak that length in section
Mhm.
one.
Right. That's right.
They, okay, they would hardly allow you to write two or three sentences, not more than that.
Right. So I think this third question was about whether do you prefer reading or watching video or movies, right?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
So the third question was related to do you prefer reading or watching video or movies, right?
Yeah. That is fine. And uh, see, now another thing that we have to focus on here is the lexical resources because
Hmm.
that's one of the parameters. Okay.
Right. Yes.
For example, when you talked about the characters in the book, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay. When you talk about the main character in the book, let's say the
Hmm.
main character of that book, you have
Right.
certain words to be used here. Okay, you have the scope to use. For example,
Okay.
what you call the main lead
Mm-hmm.
in the book or in the play, anywhere it could be. What is
Right.
the name of, what is the term that we can use to represent the main lead?
Central character, hero, heroine, uh,
Have you heard of protagonist?
uh, protagonist, is it?
Yes.
Okay. I think I have heard about it, but probably I did not know the meaning. Protagonist. Protagonist.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So it means that it is the lead character in a maybe a movie, play, or book, whatever it is.
Okay. So how do I use it?
Sorry.
How do I use this particular word, protagonist?
Oh, okay. You can say that the protagonist in the book is so and so person,
Okay.
like
Okay,
that.
got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
sure.
and try to create more of clear, compound, and complex sentences which are lengthy in
Hmm.
presentation.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
and try to use more of adjectives when you describe a character because the question itself is asking you to tell something about the favorite book.
Yes.
Okay. And they're asking you to tell about the book. So what you can add more here is this book. I mean, when it was published, I mean, was it like a bestseller?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. And you know who is the protagonist, who is the writer, and most importantly, what genre it was.
Hmm.
Like that. What was it? Was it a drama? Was it a tragedy? Was it a romantic tragedy? Was it a travelogue? Was it a biography, autobiography?
Right.
Okay.
So novel is a genre, right?
Yes, novel is a genre. Yes, and
Okay.
but
Sure.
in that novel category, again you have subcategories. As I said, is it like a thriller? Okay,
Okay.
romantic comedy or detective?
Right.
or you have something called as sci-fi, scientific fiction.
Right. Scientific fiction. Okay. Sure.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
this variety, speaking is all about giving variety
Right.
like that.
Got it.
Okay,
Yes.
as
Yes.
far and as wide you can go in it.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
that
Sure.
you need to focus like that,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Right.
All right, good. What are the advantages of reading instead of watching television or going to the cinema? Okay, yeah, this is fine. Okay, and focus on the intonation part. I mean,
Hmm.
express it as if like you are not really making an effort to speak
Hmm.
like that. It should be as if this is the way you talk on daily basis.
Right. Okay. Got
The
it.
sex, the success in speaking relies totally on that. Okay, because
So you mean to say express easily, or
easily, without any effort.
right?
Like that, okay, because the examiners are trained enough to know and identify that whether you are conscious while speaking or whether
Okay.
you are natural.
Right. Got it.
Like that, okay, and
Yes.
in section 1 your approach to all the questions is general to specific.
Hmm.
Okay, I call it as general to specific, where you have to start with a general note. For example, let's say the first question: do you enjoy reading and why? Okay, the question is pretty simple. If we say, oh, yes, I really enjoy reading, and only that much and a couple of reasons, that would not suffice. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
rather a general approach. Well, I do enjoy reading, and in fact, I used to much earlier compared to these days, as I hardly get any time in order
Hmm.
to read. Earlier, I would love to be a couch potato and spend the whole day reading and reading and reading, like that.
Okay.
Okay, so a general statement and then specific, like that.
Okay.
Okay. I particularly like to read a lot as it really rejuvenates and it really helps me to get to know who am I, and I would really look forward to read all the kinds of books that I come across.
Okay.
Okay, and try to give two reasons, like one or two reasons. The other reason that I love reading is
Hmm.
because of its vivid approach or the kind of exposure that we get in almost all the books that we read.
Okay.
Okay, starting from the cultural activities to the kind of food across the world, or the geography, or the flora and the fauna, like that. So, okay, so keep
Right.
on adding words like flora, fauna, geography, habitats. So that you yourself giving a chance to show that you can use the lexical resources just like nothing. I can
Hmm.
just pop it up without any effort.
Right.
So that way it has to be general, and then from general you have to come a little specific, and then again a little specific, and then I come down a little specific,
Okay.
like that.
Got it.
And another thumb rule in speaking is speak until they stop you.
Okay. So we need to keep on speaking until they stop you, and even if they stop you in section one, that is fine.
That is fine. That's fine. Even in section 2, after 2 minutes, they will stop you. Okay. Here also, after 3, 4 sentences, they will stop you. No
Okay.
problem. Okay.
Okay.
When they
Sure.
say thank you very much or thank you, then you can stop like that.
Sure. Okay.
That is important here. Okay. Now, let me ask a few more questions from section 1.
Sure.
Okay. So just try to implement all the things that we discussed just now for these questions. Okay,
Sure.
general to specific and vocabulary, and try to bring up a little pace into the gap between two words. Got it?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And while you do all these things, I mean, don't stress yourself much. Try to be natural as far as possible. Okay?
Right.
Fine.
Yeah. Sure.
Uh, all right, let's start. What sports are most popular in your country?
I think in my country there are many sports which are famous, but the sport that everyone likes is cricket. Cricket is considered as cricket is considered as the religion in in India. Uh, Cricketers basically they are considered as the gods uh, by many of the people. Uh, Even I love watching cricket.
Okay, fine. What sports and games did you most enjoy playing?
Well, since from childhood I have enjoyed almost every game. I used to spend a lot of time on the ground. But nowadays, it is really hard to find the time to play any game. But specifically over the weekends, whenever I get an opportunity, I play cricket. I really enjoy playing cricket. Specifically, I am a wicket keeper for my team.
All right. Did you take as much exercise as in the past?
Well, honestly speaking, I do not get much of time for exercise nowadays. Uh, in the in the last year I used to go for a brisk walking for about an hour, but since I'm working in a morning shift and I usually return quite late during the weekdays, I do not get a chance for an exercise. Over the weekend I have certain responsibilities at home, so over the weekends as well I do not exercise.
Okay, why is exercise good for you?
Well, exercise is good for anyone, and hence it is good for me. I believe exercise will help in relaxing the muscles. Also, while exercising, you are up to you, so you can synchronize your body and your mind. Uh, Whenever I exercise, I feel rejuvenated, I feel refreshed, and it helps me to keep my tempo and focus on my work throughout the day.
All right. Perfect. Yeah. So for these questions, somehow I felt you were comfortable answering.
Right. The first question I was not comfortable actually. Uh,
Okay. Uh-huh.
what was the first question? Can you repeat again?
What sports are most
Oh,
popular in your country?
right. So I should start with more general, as in there are many sports which are quite famous in my country.
Uh-huh.
But specifically talking about the popular choice, I think cricket is more popular than any other sport. Cricket is considered
Uh-huh.
as the religion in India, and
Uh,
cricketers are considered as God.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And they are talking about sports are most popular. It means that you have to mention at least two sports.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Okay, that's important here. One, you mentioned cricket, and you can
Second,
say that
talking about hockey.
another game which I really can't miss to mention here is
Okay.
football, something like that.
Mhm.
Okay, where and here you have an opportunity to divide these sports into indoor and outdoor.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay.
like that. Okay, so the athletics and chess, squash, table tennis, like that.
Right.
Okay, like that. And any two sports or three sports, like you will have to mention here. And not only that, you should also tell the reason for that. That's really important.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
said that cricketers are considered as gods and cricket is a religion in India.
Right.
That is fine. That is fine. But why? Why so?
Okay. Maybe because cricket is an interesting game.
Hmm.
Can
Okay,
that be a reason?
can you give me another word for interesting?
Entertaining.
Hmm. Yeah, entertaining,
Uh,
fascinating.
Fascinating. Okay.
Okay. And you can also talk about another reason, fascinating or appealing or interesting. Along with that, the different forms of it,
Hmm.
like the variety it brings up, like T20, okay, 2020, and ODIs and Test crickets, IPLs. So the kind of different formats it has, it really appeals all the age groups and people from all walks of life.
Right. Sure.
Okay, so that variety, you have to tell the reason why do you think so. That's really important. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I was about to say something, forgot. Huh. Not only that, see, when I said people from different walks of life, that is an idiom.
Come again. I didn't get that.
See, when I said one of the main reasons why cricket is famous is because it really attracts, it really appeals people from all walks of life due to its different formats.
Okay. Got it. Right.
Okay, so people from all walks of life is nothing but an idiom.
Okay. Walks. WALK. Is it?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes.
And does it mean all age groups?
All age groups and all professions.
Okay.
Everybody, starting from a carpenter to a CEO of a company, everybody enjoys it.
Okay. Every profession.
Every professional, every different category person would enjoy that. People from all walks of life.
Okay. So it's a
Like that.
WALK. Walks of
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
Okay.
walks of life, like that.
Okay.
Okay,
Sure. I have
so
noted it down.
so at least, I mean, in the whole first part, if you can use one or two idioms, that would
Hmm.
play a good role for our lexical resources.
Okay. Sure.
Got it? So that's important here. Okay, and to improve on this, like if you probably study on something, it's really hard to improve on this particular thing. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, improving the words. Like what you need to really do is make this as a part of your life. Like
Mm-hmm.
on a daily basis, whatever you're doing, maybe cooking, going, or traveling, or talking, or working, you're doing anything. So try to find out words like
Hmm.
regarding this, like what words I can use here, what I can use here, which can really be considered as a really good word, a fancy word here,
Okay.
like that. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Sure.
that is important. Okay, and wherever you see a new word, try to kind of note it down in a place where you can later refer back.
Right. So
Okay.
lately, what I have started doing, Harish, is every day now I read a newspaper, specifically page 13, which is the editorial. And while
Hmm.
reading, whichever are the new words, I underline those, and then later I check the meaning of those words in the dictionary. That is one.
Okay.
Second is there are many TED Talks, right? There are many videos available on YouTube related to
Yeah,
TED Talks.
TED, TED Talks. Okay.
So I am watching at least or I'm listening at least one or two TED Talks every day. Apart from that, I also am reading the books as in novels while I'm traveling to office or from coming back from office to home. That is
Okay.
third thing. And I'm also watching the web series now, Breaking Bad. So probably this watching series have really helped me in improving my listening skills.
Hmm. Okay. See, when you read a newspaper, see, I have a suggestion there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Apart from the editorial thing, just
Mm-hmm.
to get exposed to different segments of speaking. So what you
Okay.
need to do is, like in newspaper is always divided into many things. One first
Right.
page is mostly about politics and all that.
Current affairs.
Second and third is mostly about the local news. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
when you come forward, you have some paper as the science and technology.
Right.
Okay, one page you have for business.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
one
Yes.
one page is for international news,
International
correct?
news. That's right. Yes.
Another page is about the sports.
Right. Sports is the last one.
Aha. So these 4 to 5 different segments. So read all the segments every day.
That takes a lot of time actually because
Ah,
editorial itself has got 4 to 5 different news or say articles,
ah,
and I probably read aloud and then I underline the new words. I check the meaning, but then this checking the meaning takes a lot of time. So if I have to
okay.
read the whole newspaper, then it will be quite a
No,
time consuming.
no. I mean, uh, which newspaper do you read?
Times of India.
Uh, okay.
Do you have
Until
some other
until
newspaper?
until you finish your exam,
Mhm.
go for the Hindu.
Hmm. Okay, I will need to check if Hindu is available here in Pune, and if that is the case, then yes, I will subscribe for Hindu.
Yes. So for vocabulary, that's the newspaper for you, like
Okay,
that. Okay. It's just a beautiful paper, like that. Okay.
okay,
That's
yes,
one thing. And in each segment, you don't have to read the whole page. Not necessary.
mm-hmm.
Just just one report, one article about
Mm-hmm.
it.
Okay, okay, right,
One article in each segment is also enough. That would hardly take about 15 minutes for you,
okay, sure,
like that. Okay,
yes,
and do one more thing. I mean, when you come across a difficult word,
mm-hmm.
don't really try to go to the dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because if you are addicted to that particular thing on the day of
Mm-hmm.
exam, it really gets difficult when you come across a new word in reading section,
Okay,
where you will not have any dictionary. Rather,
mm-hmm.
there is something called as contextual reading. Okay,
Okay,
wherever that particular difficult word is there,
mm-hmm.
okay, just read that one sentence again, second time. Okay,
Okay,
and in the context of the sentence, try to
mm-hmm.
understand the meaning of it.
Yeah, probably I understand the meaning, but then to understand the exact meaning of that word, that is
Hmm.
where probably and also I get to see the synonyms when I look for any word in the dictionary, right?
Huh, correct. Yeah. That way you can improve definitely. But sometimes, try to do it in a contextual way. Even then, if you don't get it, then go to dictionary, like that.
Right.
Because
Okay.
in reading section, the contextual reading comes to your rescue when you don't have
Right.
a dictionary in the exam.
Correct. Correct. That's right.
Like that, okay, so that's really important here. Okay, So until you finish exam, go for Hindu. That's the paper
Yes,
for you.
sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Times of India has lot of informal language. That language
Hmm.
is totally informal. A
Right.
very casual approach they have towards it,
Okay,
like that.
sure. Yes.
That's one thing. Okay, fine. That's about your neighborhood. Okay, about your neighborhood. Fine, and I will also send you the words
Mm-hmm.
for different contexts. Let us do it this way, like
Mm-hmm.
for selected contexts. Okay, like shopping, neighborhood, reading, weather, occupation. Okay, and all these
Okay.
things.
Mm-hmm.
I will I will just send you a very selected words that would really help you for your lexical resource.
Okay,
Okay.
sure. Yes.
What you would do is you will try to go through those words
Mm-hmm.
and try to kind of use them in your responses tomorrow
Okay. Yes.
when we I will ask the same questions on those contexts.
Yes,
Okay.
sure. That would really help. When probably I will start using those in my conversation, I
Ha.
will remember those, and also I will be comfortable using those in the sentences.
Absolutely. So that would really help you to improve your vocabulary in a drastic way and start using these words in your real life also, everyday life
Yes.
also, so that they become a part of you,
Yes,
basically.
that's right.
Okay,
Yes, sure. Yeah.
fine. So that is one thing, and section two, we will do it. Okay. Fine. All right. So I will send that list now. I will just just have to type all those words and make a list and send it to you now, right?
Okay, sure.
And tomorrow we will discuss on those particular contexts and particularly focus on the lexical resource and one by one we will cover up all the parameters.
Sure. Yes.
Got it? All right. All right. Okay. So today that's all I wanted to discuss. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
So I
so
have a request, Harish, like every day at least we will definitely need to have a discussion. You also are giving me feedback, that's very good. But at least can we run one full test the way it is conducted, and then
yes.
we will discuss about the feedback. So I will get
Yes.
to practice on all the sections.
Okay, no problem. So today, like I wanted to go section by section like that, but that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. The words which I'm going to send you would
Hmm.
help you across all the sections.
Right, sure.
That we can do. So just give me today. So I will just sit and prepare that and send it to you. Okay, so that we can discuss that tomorrow.
Sure. Yes, and I will also, as soon as I receive the list, probably tomorrow I will find some time to go through, and I will also
Yes,
think how can I use those words in sentences.
absolutely, absolutely. We can do that. Okay,
Right.
fine.
And
All
probably
right.
we need not have to record the full session, but if we could
Uh-huh.
record only the test part of it. So I will have a shorter length audio to go through and
No problem.
understand where I'm making mistakes. Right?
No problem. Only that part can be recorded. That's okay.
Yes, right.
All right.
So